Hi everyone. In episode 1, we learned about the problem, Braintree's budget gap. Now let's talk about solutions. How can we close the gap? There are 3 ways towns can increase revenue: raising taxes, approving new developments, and increasing fees. First, let's talk about taxes. In Massachusetts, towns can only raise the property tax by 2.5% each year. We all know expenses for everything have been increasing by more than 2.5% for a long time. Outside of this annual 2.5% increase, raising taxes must be approved by the voters. It can be done through a debt exclusion or an override. In simple terms, a debt exclusion is a tax increase to fund a specific project. Once the project is paid off, the increase goes away. The first debt exclusion Braintree ever passed was in 2020 to invest in a new South middle school. An override is a tax increase that grows the town's overall revenue because it is added to the tax base forever. Massachusetts towns typically turn to overrides when ongoing expenses have become too much for a community and an adjustment must be made to continue to provide high-quality services. Braintree has never approved an override. For years, Braintree's low residential tax rate has been a bragging right. But now, after nearly a decade of budget gaps, our tax rate is not keeping pace with our needs. Another way towns raise money is by approving new developments and by welcoming or even incentivizing redevelopments. Last year, after nearly a decade of decline, Braintree hit its lowest amount of new growth in 20 years. This created a funding shortfall, which increased the budget gap. So redeveloping properties in town that are vacant, underutilized, or derelict, and finding ways to say yes to thoughtful new developments that make sense for Braintree is an essential component for improving our financial outlook. Finally, towns can increase revenues by increasing fees. In general, fees for services like trash pickup are the same for everyone. So when raising fees, it's important that it be done fairly and thoughtfully. Braintree's trash fee does not fully cover the cost of trash, which increases the budget gap by more than $750,000 every year. The funding shortfalls may feel sudden, but the budget gap has been gradually growing since 2016. The best news is we can do something about this. We know how to solve this problem. It won't be quick. It took almost a decade to get here, but it is fixable. Together as a town, we need to look at our 3 options: raising taxes, encouraging redevelopment, and increasing fees, and then deciding what will work best and when to implement it. We can do this because we deserve it.